Hello viewers, welcome to another video of problem solving with Pandas series. In this video series, we are solving various problems using the Python library of Pandas from the angle of data analysis. So if you are one who wants to learn data analysis with Pandas, you can follow along. So the problem that we have selected today is $1,000,000 store. Before solving the question, let's try to understand what the problem is. The problem says that write a query that returns all the stores whose average yearly revenue is greater than $1,000,000. Okay, output the store ID and average revenue. Round the average to 2 decimal places. Okay, order by store ID. Okay, so we have like several options to do here. The first one is we have to like write a query that return all the stores whose average yearly revenue is greater than $1,000,000. So we need to have the average yearly revenue of every store. That's the first thing that we have to do, and then we have to compare it with $1,000,000, and then we can output the store ID and revenue, average revenue. Like there is kind of filtering, and at the final stage we have to round the result with 2 decimal place, and then we have to order it by store ID. Okay, let's have a look on the data set or the information we are given. So we have several store ID, we have year, we have revenue. So what the problem says, write a query to return all the stores whose average yearly revenue is greater than. So average yearly revenue. So if we just check some of the data, like store 1 is given for the year 2020 and the revenue is given 2, 3, 4. Okay, store 1 is again given like for 2021 and the revenue. So the problem is asking for average yearly revenue of all the stores. So somehow we have to find out. If we just want to calculate it manually, what we have to do? We have to add this store 1 revenue of 2022 with revenue of store 1 2021, this revenue. In this way, what like all the revenue of the store 1 for different years, we have to sum, and we have to divide it with the number of times. Like store 1 is given here 1, 2, 3 times. So what we have to do, we have to sum this value, we have to sum this value, and we have to sum this value, then we have to divide it by the result with 3. Then we will get the average sales value or average revenue of store 1. So in this way we have to calculate revenue of all the stores. So let's try to do this first. How we can do this? Okay, if we just want to solve this problem, this is the default code is given. We have to import pandas in this way, and the default value first 5 columns is showing. Okay, this is not our concern. Stores, the table name is stores. Okay, let's try to run the table. Okay, so it's showing. So what we will do, if we just can group this data based on this store ID, then what will happen? There will be only one value for store ID, one record for two, one record for store ID with 2. Like we have to group. If we just can group the data based on this store ID, then other columns or other values will be aggregated based on this, and then we can apply the mean. Like we need average here, so we will apply mean. So this is a special function, like a different function that we haven't used so far, that is group by. Let's try to use this. This works in this way, group by. So we want to group by this data set with store ID. So just write the name. Okay, now if we just run it, we will, like we have got an object there is Pandas core object, the group by has been done, but we are not seeing anything. The fact is that we have to tell Pandas, so what we will do with group by, like this thing has been grouped. So if we just, for understanding, let's apply sum here. Let's see what will happen. Okay, store ID. Okay, just ignore this first column here. Let's try to understand the second one. Oh, the fact is that our store ID is not showing here. It has been grouped based on its store ID, but that is not being shown. So what we can do, we can reset the index. Then we will be able to see the store ID, I believe. Yeah, now we can see. Okay, let's check the first one, where the store ID is 1. Like here we have only 4 different stores, 1 2 3 4. So only 4 records is supposed to be shown here. Yeah, it is showing only 4 records because the whole data set has now been grouped based on this store ID. So there are 4 different store IDs, so 4 different records. So what happened in the other column? Like if you just check the year, though it doesn't make any sense, but it has summed, as we have applied sum here. So it has applied all the sum, all the year on the store ID, like 2022, 2021 and 2022. The summation is 6063. So this is not making any sense. Our concern is not this. We are concerned about this revenue. So what it did by this time, the first revenue is 1 million. The second one, like for the store one, is 2 million, I believe. Yeah, and the third one is 700,000. So what it did, it just summed up all everything, like it's 10 million, it's 20 million and 700,000. So 3,700,000. So this is the thing, like it has grouped everything in this way, but we are interested about average, isn't it? So what we will do, we will not take the sum, we will apply the mean here. Now let's look it. Now we are getting here. What it's doing? It's summing everything like the previous one, 3,700,000, and it's dividing it with 3. So now it is showing us the average value or average revenue for a store ID for all those years. Now it is also making the average of years also. Okay, as we are not interested about the years and it will also not make any sense, so let's pull this only this revenue column. So what we have to do here, we have to apply after mean, we can take only this revenue. Okay, now it is showing us the perfect one, like store ID and the revenue. So we are also interested about the first 2 decimals. We round the average to the 2 decimal place. So we can also apply this round function here. This will give us 2, and from this data set or this data frame, we can now filter the full thing. Those are more than 1 million that we are already asked, greater than 1 million. Okay, so to do this, like we can store this data set in a separate variable like filter. Let's take it filtered, filter. Okay, let's take it. Okay, filter data. So it's basically saving everything in this filter data, and if we just run this filter data, then we will get the same thing. Now from this filter data, we will show only those records that has revenue more than 1 million. So how we can do that? We can just select a column from this table. It will show us the first column, and that has to be greater than 1 million. I think it's 1 million. Now what it is showing us, it is showing us the boolean masking where the condition is met and where the condition is not met. to get the real view, we have to pass this data frame again in this way. Now it is showing us the desired result. Now only those two stores had more than 1 million in their average revenue. I hope this is correct. Let's check the answer. Yeah, we can see this is correct. So I hope you could be able to understand the problem, how this has been solved, and how the group by uh, function of pandas works. And if you have any question or any confusion, you can like put it on the comment below, then I will try to make it clear. Thank you so much for watching. See you on next video.